My laptop is one of my most used devices. I use it for everything from web browsing and media consumption to word processing to planning and organizing my life. There are quite a few accessories that help me to accomplish those tasks, and today I wanted to share 5 of my favorite ones with you. Now, I use a MacBook, but I'm sure if you use a Windows laptop or even a tablet, you'll find these products useful as well. I'm going to have links to all of the items that I mentioned in this video down in the description box, so be sure to check that out. And without further ado, let's get straight into the video. I have the 2017 13-inch MacBook Pro, and those MacBooks came with Apple's butterfly keyboards. I think I'm in the minority when I say that I actually prefer Apple's butterfly keyboards as opposed to their newer keyboards. But when I'm sitting at a desk and I have my laptop connected to an external display, I like to use a Bluetooth keyboard. And my absolute favorite one to use has been the Keychron K2. The K2 is a very well-made keyboard. I opted to go for the one that has a plastic casing. There is also a version that has an aluminum case if you prefer that more premium feel. The keycaps are ABS keycaps that have a nice smooth feel to them. The keyboard itself is slightly inclined, however there are these legs at the bottom that you can flip out if you wanted to have a more angled typing experience. This is a mechanical keyboard. Now, the difference between a mechanical keyboard and a membrane style keyboard, like the ones that you'd find on laptops for example, is that each of these keys has an individual spring and switch. For that reason, there tends to be more tactile and audible feedback, which for me creates a much more pleasant typing experience. The switches on this version are Gateron brown switches, which are not as clicky as Gateron blues, but at the same time offer a little more tactile feedback than Gateron reds. Let's do a quick typing test so you can see what they sound like. If you're wondering which switches suit you best, I highly recommend checking out YouTube videos that demonstrate what they sound like, and there is also a guide on Keychron's website to tell you a bit more about each switch and which one best suits your typing style. Now, this is a 75% keyboard, which means that it does have a row of function keys. I opted for the RGB backlight version of this keyboard. Apart from the regular white backlight, you also get a number of different RGB backlight modes to choose from. If you wanted to, you could get a hot swappable version of this keyboard, which means that if you are tech savvy, you could go ahead and replace the switches on your own. You can use this keyboard in either the Bluetooth mode or the wired mode. I tend to always use the Bluetooth mode. It can connect to up to 3 different devices at a time, which means that I can easily switch between my laptop and tablet or even my phone. One of the greatest things about this keyboard is that it's compatible with a number of different operating systems. There's a switch that allows you to toggle between the Mac or iOS layout and a Windows or Android layout. I use a Mac, so it's extremely convenient for me to be able to use the Mac-specific commands and media keys. It also comes with replaceable keycaps as well as a keycap remover tool, so you can switch out Mac-specific keys for Windows-specific keys or vice versa. Finally, the battery life on this keyboard is amazing. I believe the battery is rated at 4,000 milliamp hours. It charges via USB-C, but I find that because the battery life is so good, I only have to charge it maybe once a month, if that much. So if you're in the market for a mechanical keyboard specifically, I highly recommend checking out the Keychron K2 or even any of Keychron's other keyboards. As much as I love Apple's trackpads and the gestures that are integrated in macOS, I often find myself preferring to use a standard Bluetooth mouse. The one I have is from Logitech, and it's the Logitech MX Anywhere 2S. When I was doing research on which Bluetooth mouse to get, one that came highly recommended was the Logitech MX Master. But what sold me on the MX Anywhere 2S is that it's a little smaller and it has most of the features that I need in a mouse. My hands are relatively small, so it's comfortable for me to use for extended periods of time. However, if you have larger hands, you might find the experience to be a little more cramped. You can use the scroll wheel to toggle between hyper fast and click-to-click scrolling, And the scroll wheel also allows you to do horizontal scrolling. There is a middle button, as you can see here, that can be used with a few different gestures to access certain features of your operating system. There are also two buttons on the side of the mouse that I find really useful for navigating forward and backward when doing things like navigating web pages, for example. On the bottom, we have our on and off switch, our sensor, and then below you can see that this mouse can be paired with up to 3 different devices, similar to the keyboard that I talked about. And you can toggle between each of those devices using this button. This mouse charges via USB-C. The battery life on it is exceptional, similar to the keyboard. I only have to charge this mouse maybe every month or so, and I use it almost every single day. With the Logitech Options app, you can access different mouse-related settings like the pointer speed, or you can assign the buttons to different commands of your choosing. I can attest to the quality and longevity of this mouse. I've had it for about 4 years now, and the only issue that I've had with it is that this plastic side piece here has started to peel off, but that's nothing that a little glue can fix. My laptop has a grand total of 2 USB-C ports, which isn't ideal for connectivity purposes, especially if you're someone like me who is constantly using different peripherals like micro SD cards and external hard drives. So having a multi-port adapter, or dongle as it's affectionately known, is absolutely a must. The one that I've been using ever since I got my laptop is from a brand called Uni, and it is their 8-in-1 USB-C hub. In terms of the build and design, as you can see, it's relatively small and compact, and it has an aluminum casing which gives it that premium feel. As far as connectivity goes, you have a number of different ports. It has 2 SD card slots, one regular and one micro, 2 USB 3.0 ports, 1 USB 2.0 port, 1 Ethernet port, which I've never used, 1 HDMI slot, as well as 1 USB-C port for power delivery. This comes with a braided cable that you can use to connect it to your laptop or whatever device you like to use, and it's detachable, which is great for storage. It also comes with this neat little protective bumper case. This one is blue and it's made out of a rubber material, and I just really appreciate that the company decided to include this with the device. Another reason that I really like this adapter in particular, superficial as it may be, is that the gray on it matches the space gray of my laptop, so that creates a more cohesive look. So again, I highly recommend this specific adapter from Uni. It is a must-have if you own a device that comes with limited connectivity out the box. I only like to keep those files and documents that I'm currently using on my laptop. Everything else either goes in the cloud or into external storage. I currently own a few external hard drives, and the first one we're going to be talking about is this one from the brand Western Digital. It is their WD Elements external hard drive. So this one has 2 terabytes. It comes with a USB-A to micro B cable. I also went ahead and bought a case for it just to make sure that it is protected at all times. As you can see, it has a slot for the hard drive itself, and this is where I tend to store any cables or smaller peripherals. Now recently, I figured I wanted to get another external drive specifically for storing all of my YouTube content. So I chose to go for this one from Samsung. This is the Samsung T7. As you can see, this one is quite a bit smaller. It's actually an SSD, so it's faster, it's quieter, and overall it's just a very sleek looking device, and as you can see, it sort of fits in the palm of my hand. Now this one comes with a USB-C cable, and I also opted to get a case for this one as well. This one has a nice furry interior. You simply place the SSD in there, and then of course you also have a pocket in here, and this is just where I put the USB-C cable. Now keep in mind that SSDs are going to be a little more expensive than HDDs because of the fact that they're smaller, faster, quieter. If you only want to store files and you're not looking to run any programs off of your external drive, then I highly recommend just going with a regular HDD. But of course, if you can shell out the money, I think that going for an SSD is worth it as well. When I have my laptop connected to an external display, I still like to use the screen on the laptop itself, just so that I can be able to have more screen real estate to work with. And so I like to use a stand like this that elevates the laptop screen, just so that I don't have to strain my neck, moving from looking at the monitor to looking down at the screen on the laptop and then looking back again. This one is from a brand called Omaton. It's actually adjustable, so you can actually move these little legs into these notches here to determine what angle you'd like to have your screen at. One thing I love about this one specifically Lastly is that it's collapsible. It's a very small form factor once it's broken down, as you can see. So you can easily put it into a bag or just, put it into your laptop sleeve and take it with you wherever you need to go. I also like using a laptop stand because it allows for heat dissipation. I tend to run programs that can be taxing on the CPU of my laptop. It tends to run hot sometimes, so when I have it on the stand, that allows for proper airflow and ventilation. So if you're looking for a laptop stand, I'd highly recommend one like this that you can either just have on your desk or easily fold up and take with you. So those are some of my favorite and most used computer accessories. If you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like and subscribe. Comment and let me know if any of these pique your interest or if there are any accessories that you use that you think I would enjoy using as well. As always, I'd love to hear from you down in the comment section. And if you enjoy this kind of content, then I highly recommend checking out a video that I did on my most used Mac menu bar applications. I'm gonna have that video linked somewhere here as well as down in the description. Take good care and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.